Good morning. My name is Tim from Plugged Into Leadership, your outlet for leadership success. We're talking about entrepreneurs, bosses, and leaders, and we're taking a look at one of the major leadership myths this morning. So grab your mug, put something warm in it, and let's go. So one of the things that I have grown in my understanding about leadership is that there are some significant leadership myths out there. There's some things that I believed about leadership that when I started to really do the research and really understand what leadership is, that I found out that I was completely wrong about. Good morning, Tracy Daly. Hi, good to see you. There was things that I was just incorrect about. And one of those major things is that entrepreneurs are leaders. And so maybe you've looked at somebody in your life and seen them as a leader. You've called them a leader. You've referred to them as leader. But are they really a leader? Are they just an entrepreneur? And an entrepreneur is somebody that is skilled at seeing maybe a hole in the market and being the first one to kind of jump on that opportunity. They have a very specific skill set. They're usually out front, but they're also going to be using that skill to bring a product to the market or a message to the market. Now, just because they're first, this was the myth that I believe, just because they were first, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily a leader. See, we think of leaders as somebody that is out front. If we're running a race, the person that is out front, we consider them the leader. But in the more understanding of how leadership is really deeply understood in our lives, in our families, and where we work, and the organizations that we're a part of, there's a bit more to leadership than just being out front. I'll refer you back to the Boss and Leader episode with Dave Ferguson. Dave wrote a fantastic book called Boss or Leader. And in that episode, Dave and I talk a little bit about the difference between a boss and a leader. And so another one of the myths that we've talked about before on the show is whether or not bosses are automatically leaders. But I want to stick on this entrepreneur idea. There's a lot of people, particularly in pop culture, people that are on TV, movie stars, people that are doing talk shows, even myself in this instance doing a show about leadership. Just because we might be out front or we have a good message, that doesn't mean that we are necessarily leaders. So I want to give a specific distinction that makes an entrepreneur different than a leader. See, a leader is going to understand and want to continue to develop people. That they're going to try to reach the goal and use the message they have in order to try to complete a task or to continue to carry out a vision. And while they're doing that, they are going to develop people. So just because somebody is out front, just because somebody's on TV, we think of people like Ben Shapiro or the new recent fame Michelle Wolf or even David Hogg, those types of people. There's lots of other people that we could mention. They may be out front, they may be on TV, they may have a good message, but are they really leaders? And the distinction would be, are they developing people? Now, I don't know if those people are developing people. I'm not really sure. But I'm just saying, looking at them from the standpoint of what their message is and them being out front and being first with their message or having a message that is fairly sticky in culture doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be a leader. Now, like I said, they could be leaders. I want to be continuing to develop people. I want to be continuing to add value to you. And one of the ways that I try to do that is if you share this episode or leave a comment or leave a review on iTunes, you get entered into our weekly resource drawing. Congratulations to Matt Locke, who is our resource winner from last week. Matt, congratulations. You will be getting your resource this week. But those are ways that I want to continue to add value to you. I want you to continue to reflect on your life and your leadership and who you are developing. So do you have not only a message, I have a message. My message is that you can be a successful leader, that you can find success in your leadership, no matter where you are on the org chart, no matter what you're trying to do, but there are things in your life that you want to change about yourself and about the world around you, and you can influence people, you can develop people, and on your journey to do that. That's what makes you a leader, the development of people, being a good leader continues by having you develop people. Now, entrepreneurs, they may have a great idea, they may have a great message, they may be out front, but one of the things that entrepreneurs need to be careful about is they need to put people around them that are good with people, that are developing people, that are creating a process whereby people are growing and continuing to learn and continuing to develop themselves as they help the team reach the goal. And there's lots of people out there that are entrepreneurs that are also leaders, but there are a few out there that are just entrepreneurs. They just have a good idea. They're out front. Maybe they're making lots of money. Maybe they're number one in a certain industry, but are they developing people? So that's all I have for today. As I mentioned earlier, please share this video. You can be entered into the weekly resource drawing because I want to continue to put resources in your hand to add value to you so that you can find leadership success. So we're going to be looking at a few other myths this week. We got some interviews going on. I'm excited about the interviews that are happening this week. Pastor Herb Redrick is going to be on from First Missionary Baptist talking about how to deal with conflict on your team. He has an amazing way to deal with conflict on team. So if you've had conflict on your team, if you want to resolve conflict on your team, tune into that episode. I believe that's going to be Thursday. And tomorrow, I'm excited about having my friend Allison on. Allison is a career coach. So if you're looking to re-enter the workforce, perhaps you've been out of work for a bit, you need to maybe brush up for an interview, or you're just looking to try to get back involved in what's going on in the world in your career, Allison will be able to help us with that tomorrow. So I'm excited about Allison's interview, excited about Pastor Herb Redrick's interview, and I'm excited about looking at some other leadership myths this week. That's all for me today. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks.